Good afternoon all. Welcome to SDC India 2021. Before starting this presentation, let me introduce myself first. I am Anil Dhaneshwar. I work in Veritas Technologies as a principal software engineer. In Veritas, I work on Veritas file system product. My major responsibility is to provide Veritas file system support on new Linux flavor like Red Hat, SUSE, etc. Along with this, I also work on Veritas file system patches and escalation. So this is the brief introduction about myself. Let's start with today's talk. Today I will talk on topic native file systems for zone block device and recent enhancements. As a file system developer, I am following the development happening in Linux kernel and in native file systems. Especially, I followed all the patches submitted by the Damian and now Hyro, who are lead developer who contributed a lot of patches to enable zone block device support in Linux kernel. This talk is a summary of development work happen in Linux kernel and in native file systems for zone block device support. Let's start this session. This is an agenda of today's talk. First, I will talk about zone block device. Then we will move to the next section in which I will talk about evolution of zone block device support in Linux kernel. And in some last slides of this presentation, I will talk on native file systems for zone block device and recent enhancements. Let's move on to the next slide. This slide is to explain the basics of zone block device. Let's start with what is the zone block device. Zone block device is a class of storage in which logical address space is divided into zones which have sequential write constraint, but there is no such constraint for read. Read can happen in any order. Each zone on zone block device has a write pointer that keeps track of the next write. Data overwrite is not possible in zone. We cannot go back and write data in between old data. We will need to erase the zone using zone reset command if we want to rewrite the zone. Zone block device support two command interfaces, ZBC and ZAC. We get some benefits when we use zones on the conventional storage. Let's see what those benefits are. Using zone on storage reduces the write amplification factor. Write amplification factor means host write data on the zone once, but due to a garbage collector or block movement, that data gets write within the disk multiple times. That's called the write amplification. In case of a reduction in write amplification factor, we get higher write throughput, lower read latencies, and it increases the device lifetime. Also, in terms of SSD, the DRAM needs can be reduced. That is all about the basics of zone block device. Let's move to the next slide. I would like to illustrate zone block device basics we discussed so far by showing you this diagram. The upper diagram represents the division of logical block address. Zone on the device started from zone 0. The write happens in only one direction, that is sequential write. The second diagram represents the individual zone. Each zone has zone start address and zone end address. The write pointer shown in middle keeps track of the position of next write. That's all about the zone block device. Let's move on to the next slide. Zone on zone block device creates using the SMR technology. SMR technology means shingle magnetic recording. SMR technology provides the increased areal density, which results in higher overall per drive storage capacity. Let me explain this concept. Conventional magnetic recording places gaps between recording tracks on HDDs to account for track misregistration budget. But shingle magnetic recording removes the gap between tracks by writing tracks in an overlapping manner. This overlapping of tracks contributes to the increased areal density. Let's understand SMR using this image. The middle image shows the conventional HDD. As you see, the tracks are separated by gaps, but such gaps are not on the SMR HDD. More than one track are overlap each other, which forms the zone. SMR creates the shingled on roof pattern. That's why this technology is called shingle magnetic recording. That's all about the SMR. Let's move to the next slide. Let's assume there are three applications are running on system and which are into the storage. In this case, the storage device decides about the data placement, and there is no guarantee that each application will get the blocks in sequence. When data of any application deleted from storage, in that case, garbage collector do the block or data movement, which impacts the write amplification factor that we discussed in our starting slide. To avoid this, we can have zones on the device. Here, application decides how its data going to write on this. In case of zone block device, each application gets its dedicated zones in which it keeps its data. Let's move on to the next slide. This is an overall picture of the zone block device support in Linux kernel. This diagram divided into two parts in terms of application. To run legacy application, we have three layers: zone block device compliant file system, legacy file system, raw block access through DM zone. Legacy application can submit any type of write to the underlying layer, but the underlying layer convert those writes into sequential writes. Let's talk about the layers through which the legacy application performs the I/O. First layer is of zone block device compliant file system. There are two file systems so far supported for a zone block device. Those are Btrfs and Btrfs. I will talk on these file systems in our subsequent slides. A zone block device compliant file system hides the sequential write constraint of the zone device from application. It transfers the sequential write only to the disk. Then we have legacy file system to do the I/O, but it needs the device mapper DM zone in between file system and zone device. The DM zone exposes the zone block device as a normal block device. Then there is a raw block access layer through which we can directly access the device. But to run legacy application, the DM zone should be used in between. Next, there is layer of zonefs. I will cover this FS in next slide. Zonefs provides some API. Application make use of those API and perform the I/O on the disk. The zone raw block access is similar to the raw block access, but it doesn't need any driver in between. It directly talks with the zone device. Then there is the pass-through device access layer. Through this layer, application can pass SCSI or NVMe commands to the SCSI or NVMe driver, and all IOs happen through these drivers only. This is all about the zone block device support in Linux kernel. Let's move on to the next slide. This table shows which feature was introduced in which kernel. As you see, first support changes regarding zone block device was added in 3.8 kernel, and the recent changes introduced in 5.12 kernel in Btrfs. Let's talk about which file systems are supported for device. First file system is zonefs. Zonefs is developed by Western Digital to support zone block device. It exposes each zone of the zone block device as a file. A zone block device doesn't hide the sequential write constraint. That's why your application need to take care and submit only sequential I/O. Application written for zonefs utilizes the zonefs API to do write or read operation on the disk. ZoneFS has only one metadata, that is super block, which is immutable super block. ZoneFS always placed the super block on sector 0 of the device. When we mount the ZoneFS on the mount point, then we get by default directory structure. We get two directories as shown in figure. In below figure, one is CNV for conventional zone and another is CEQ directory for sequential zone. These directories contain several files which has mapping with each zone on the zone block device. File 0 represents the zone 0. We cannot rename this file. This is by default structure provided by ZoneFS. That's all about ZoneFS. Let's move on to the next slide. Next file system which has zone block device support is Btrfs, flash-friendly file system. It is log structure file system. That means all modification on disk happen through log structure. All write are sequential in nature. There is one requirement for this file system. It requires at least one conventional zone to place the metadata. In case of non-conventional zone, we can use a multi-device setup. In that, one device should be of conventional zone to place the metadata. To support this file system for zone block device, there were some changes done. Let's talk about those changes. First changes was regarding section alignment. Section means group of segment. Changes introduced to align section size with zone size. Second changes was related to forced LFS mode. On Btrfs, in some cases random write can happen. So the forced LFS mode introduced to ensure that only sequential write will go to the disk. Zone reset as discard operation. That was the next change. There is a block discard or we can say trim operation in Btrfs, which indicate that block or range of blocks are free for use. This operation is replaced by zone reset operation. Zone reset command will get invoked when a block from zone are free, and then zone will available for write. This is all about Btrfs. Let's move on to the next slide. Next file system is Btrfs. It is based on copy and write principle. That means in place write avoids on this file systems block. In case of writing on existing block, that block gets copied somewhere and write happen on that block. That is the copy and write principle. Let's talk about changes happened in Btrfs to add support for zone block device. First change is related to allocation pointer. It ensures that these changes ensures that block exchange from block groups are allocating sequentially. Then there are changes regarding rewriting the zone. Zone will rewrite when block group is free. Let's talk on some latest changes introduced in 5.12 kernel. Superblock is metadata of the file system. It has a fixed location on the disk and it can change over time. In 5.12 kernel, there are changes to keep the superblock and its copy on disk. There are two changes in terms of keeping superblock on disk. First one is to keep the superblock on conventional zone if it is available. Otherwise, for non-sequential zone, a circular buffer of 2 zones will get created as shown in the figure. Let's say one zone keeps the copy of the super block. When write pointer of zone 1 reaches to the end of zone, then that copy of super block get transferred to the other zone, and first zone get reset to take new super block changes. There are some more changes in 5.12 kernel. So next changes are regarding to the tree log block. When we allocate the metadata block on this, then block for tree log also get allocated in between the metadata block. The timing of writing the tree log block and metadata block are different. The tree log block written on disk when there is fsync or o_sync call from user space, and metadata will return on the disk when there is global commit. This doesn't follow the sequential write constraint of zone device due to the different timing of writing this block. So in recent kernel, tree log block is separated out from the metadata block. Next changes are related to align the size to zone size and also allocate blocks from chain sequentially. Then there are changes to support zone append command. In normal write, there is no guarantee that simultaneous write will place on disk in sequence due to order of submitted IO. This results in error of file system. Zone append handle the order of the write. Then there are changes to support the NVMe drive with ZNS functionality. That's all about the recent changes of Btrfs. Some features of Btrfs are not supported yet, like dedupe. We can see some patches to support Btrfs feature on zone block device. There are, as discussed, there are 3 file systems so far to support the zone block device. Those are zonefs, Btrfs, and Btrfs. There is a discussion going on to introduce zone block support in other native file systems. The potential native file systems are ext4 and xfs. In summary, let me sum up main points we discussed so far. Zone block device address space divided into zones, and those zones can be written sequentially, but it can happen in any order. Data overwrite is not possible on zone block device. When we use zone on the device, it increases the capacity and performance. File systems supported are zonefs and Btrfs and Btrfs. ext4 and xfs are 2 potential file systems in which support can be added. Recent changes are merged in 5.12 kernel for Btrfs file system. These are references. You can visit to these links if you need more information about the zone block. Zone storage.io has all the information. You can also refer to the mentioned LWN articles. That's all I had for today. Thanks for your attention.